If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear.
Hello and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium. I'm Mom.
I'm Darkthorne. This is Volume 1, where we are going to go teach you some little bits of the basics in the game.
And we mean the basics. The biggest problem we keep running into with players who want to play the game is they get in about this far and they go, "Ugh, I don't get it," and they quit. And I understand that. It's a complex game. There's a lot to it.
I mean, you've been away for, some people have been away for a while. It's like, oh my.
Thank you, Mr. Takei. But it is a complex game, so we're going to start you at the very beginning and walk you through everything. Now, one thing we're not going to walk you through is actually loading up the game, because then you get to watch a screen load for a long time. Star Trek Online is a free-to-play. You can download it from Arc Games. You can download it from Steam.
You can download it from Steam. You can download it from Arc. You can go to StarTrekOnline.com. They'll get you to Arc, and you can download it there.
Right.
You can probably even go to a game store, find it in some places, find a freaking disc. You can download it there and go through pretty much the exact same amount of updates.
Right. So there's a lot of ways to get the game. Do make sure you've got the capacity to run the game. It is a big game. It does take up a lot of processing speed. That said, my cheap $4.99 Acer laptop runs it just fine, but I still have the one you're seeing right now, which is my big rig.
Yep, big rigs are fun.
They are indeed. So we're assuming that you've got a computer, that you've got a monitor, that you've got a keyboard, and you've got a mouse, and that you've got the game.
Then how are you watching this?
Yeah, well, okay, good point, good point. And you've got the game loaded, and you've probably come to a screen that looks something like this. So what we've done is, this is our most recent patch, and that is as of today, October the 25th, 2018, and we're going to start a brand new character from the get-go. So click on Engage.
To make it so. Sorry,
Yes.
My voice is a little bit raw today, so.
Not a problem. I'm going to take Paul's image off there.
And here we are, loading, loading, loading. Oh, this game is loading.
It does tend to load a very small amount and then slam through the last 70% in a matter of seconds.
Slam. Da, da, da. All right.
Now, because we are doing this on Skype and OBS for our recording, it's a little bit more chuggy than it is when we're playing the game live. If you haven't joined us for live stream and you want to see how the game runs in real time, please jump onto the Darkmom Consortium and watch some of our gameplay that we do at the end of every live stream. And I've created Sample Cadet here. That's a clever name, but we're going to start with a brand next example, right? We're going to create a new character. So to create your new character, to create your new captain, you're going to come up here to the new character section, and you have currently 6 options on the characters you can play. You can play a Federation character. You can play a Klingon character. You can play a Romulan character. Then we also have the Agents of Yesteryear characters, which are Federation characters. Yesterday, excuse me, thank you. Which are Federation characters, but they're starting back in Kirk's time?
Kirk's time, yes.
Right.
In the original series, where men were men and women wore miniskirts.
And Gorn were Gorn.
And Gorn were very rubber suity.
Yes. Next, we have our Jem'Hadar. Our Jem'Hadar are a brand new faction that came out just before August this year and are absolutely fabulous. It's a wonderful way to play a character, but you jump into it at level 60, meaning if you don't know how to play the game, you're getting slammed into it with a very high level character. And while you can certainly do that, that's up to you. we recommend you start with one of the other ones first. As of a couple of weeks ago, we now have the Age of Discovery.
Age of Discovery.
Age of Discovery. And if you're enjoying the Discovery show and you'd like to jump in and play as a Discovery character, you can. And then you'll timeline up to the current timeline shortly after we begin. To make life easy and to keep you going with the TOS concept, though, we're going to start out here with a Federation character. There's advantages. TNG, TOS. I mean,
TOS would be Agents of Yesterday, so.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of if you're very Kirk-oriented, this is where you want to start with a Federation character.
Yeah, we're going to start with Federation character no matter what, guys.
Right. So we're going to click in here, and it's going to give us our next screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, click it.
I clicked it. I just clicked hard enough. Okay, since we are going to be playing here with Starfleet, we get to pick our species, our gender, and our career. We're going to kind of do a quick rundown on the species. We're doing just the big four today, and we will talk about the rest in detail on another day.
The big four generally are known as your humans, your Andorians, your Vulcans, and then your Tellarites, which are
for some reason they decided to put those down there. Sorry, I put Benzites up. Where are my Tellarites? There are my Tellarites. Thank you.
The appearance of these characters really is going to reflect their when STO launched their updated point as of the series Enterprise.
Right.
Not the greatest series by a lot of people, but they did have some great visuals.
They did indeed. Now, why are these guys the big four? Well, if you know your Federation history, the United Federation of Planets actually came together as a result of a meeting of the Tellarites, the Vulcans, the humans, and the Andorians. And these were the four critical ones at the very beginning of the game. Or excuse me, of the series, not of the game. And so we're going to call these guys the big four, and we're going to focus on them today. We will deal with the remaining species. That's all of these over here.
We'll touch on
over the next couple of months.
We'll touch on things here and there for everybody, so.
Right, we're going to stay with these guys. So humans, I'm sure you know what a human is. I'm sure there's one that lives around you, possibly in your house or your apartment.
Possibly sitting in your chair.
Possibly sitting in your chair.
Them humans are very sneaky.
Now, every species has got certain traits and attributes that make them interesting to play. There we go. It's under race info.
Yep.
So, by the way, it is not gender specific. Males and females have the same traits.
Though you'll find out in a later episode, spoiler alert, that in the Klingons, there's a couple races that you do not get female characters. So
yes, there are a few that do not have female characters.
Yep.
There's a few that by canon shouldn't, but still do. Deal with it.
But if you scroll down, there will be a little point about your race, generally speaking.
Right, so right now we're looking at the traits. These are attributes that you get for this character. You're not going to get to utilize all of them at the same time. You get to go through and pick out the ones that work for you. And you can change them. You can go back and forth. But you're going to decide which ones you like.
These are all the things available. The thing that's actually there when she gets to it, there is a little tab called Human on there, which is up for her.
Alphabetical order? Is that a thing?
Yes,
there we go. It's right in here. Humans are inspirational leaders and work exceptionally well with others. Their leadership inspires their comrades to work harder and faster than they otherwise could, and their teamwork allows them to exploit combat opportunities created by teammates to great effect. In space, this comes out as a hull regeneration bonus and resistance to subsystem offline duration. And on ground, it's increased exploit damage for the team, which may not mean anything to you at the moment, but that's what it is.
You'll find out about this later as you go. But generally humans are known. We unite everybody, at least in the world of Star Trek.
And we get a little bit better efficiencies and work out of our people.
Because after all, if you're James T. Kirk, who wants to disappoint the captain?
So let's go on to our Andorians. Now, with no apologies whatsoever, Darkthorne and I love Andorians. We both have some of our main toons as Andorians.
And yes, even if you remember some point, if you have seen Star Trek and seen things like Enterprise, I'll even call people. I'll even call and go into teams with all these humans and stuff. I'll go, you pinkskins really disappoint me.
Yes, I have to give Enterprise credit for having the best Andorians.
They did the greatest stuff of Andorians, and
yeah, and we love Shran. We love Shran. But we have another Andorian. Yeah. But we have another Andorian who's a big part of the game, and you'll meet him later. So Andorians are awesome. Andorians are known for their passion in combat and their acute perception of their surroundings. As Andorians take damage, they gain a bonus to their outgoing damage based on how much health they are missing. Their acute senses allow them to sense stealthed opponents, deal more damage with exploit attacks, and reduce the amount of damage they take from flanking. On the ground, it's plus bonus damage for each point of missing health. This bonus increases greatly as your health nears 0.
So basically what they're saying here, I mean, Andorians, they're average in space, but when you get on the ground and you start picking a 5 Andorian, prepare to get your butt kicked.
Yeah. Please bear in mind, Andorians have a cultural heritage of...
they're like Rocky. Hit me. Hit me again. Hit me again. All right, I'm knocking you out now.
They have dueling fields where you go out and you duel with one another. You don't really do that if you're not in great shape.
You don't do that if you're not a little bit on the crazy side.
That too. So we're going to scroll all the way down here to our handy dandy Vulcans. Vulcans are, well, they're Spock. Everything you remember in Spock you can put into your toon. Please bear in mind, these are your characters and you get to create them the way you want them to play.
Yes. As we get into things, you will see these appearances. You can change them. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. So let's talk a little bit about Vulcans. Known for their logical minds and stoicism, Vulcans have extreme mental discipline and exceptional physical strength behind their veneer of implacability. Vulcan's force of will provides them with resistance to psionic damage and any placate or confuse effects, while their physical strength increases their melee damage and gives their melee attacks a chance to knock down their foes. On the ground, use mental discipline to free yourself from hold effects, bonus resistance to psionic, placate, and confuse. Again, this may be a little overwhelming at the moment, but it's an important thing to bear in mind. If you want to play Spock, play a Vulcan.
Mm-hmm. And on the other point, on ground, 0.15 bonus to melee damage, which means 15% chance to knock your target down. So basically, a Vulcan pimp slap is something you're never going to forget. Plus, there's something else if you scroll back up to the
I'm
end.
scrolling up to it. This one? Nerve pinch, activatable ground trait. Yeah, you can do the Vulcan nerve pinch. Wow. It's so much fun. You gotta have some fun, and this is one of them.
Of course. Yes, if you're a Vulcan, there will probably come a point you're going to just try to sneak up behind somebody, nerve pinch them, and if they're weak enough, you're going to knock them out.
Absolutely. So if you really want to play TOS and play Spock, this is the one. And we're going to jump over to Tellarites next. Let me scroll down to Tellarites. Okay, these are not the most attractive of people, I will admit that. Tellarites are known to be stubborn and prideful, and they have strong emotional responses. Tellarites' pig-headedness gives them resistance to physical and kinetic damage, makes placate, hold, and knockback effects less effective on them. Tellarites' stubbornness also allows them to break free of confuse and placate effects with great effort. On the ground, they have resistance to physical, kinetic, and resistance to placate, hold, and knockback. 50% increase for a plus 20% all damage for 20 seconds when receiving a critical hit. And again, this doesn't make a lot of sense at the moment.
And
but
if you scroll up, the stubborn trait's actually on there to take you.
It is indeed.
Yes.
And there it is. Yeah, so think of it this way. Takes the licking and keeps on ticking and deals damage.
Now you will notice, and a lot of people will probably go this way. We may not because we're just good, but you will notice so far that the only species that actually has a space trait is the humans.
So far.
So far.
So far. This will change with different races. So we're going to go back up here because much as we'd love to give you a voice in what's going on, tough. This is our toon. We are going to make other toons so you can see those. And we have decided that we're going to pick an Andorian.
Of course we're picking Andorians.
Because we like Andorians. Now, the second thing is
best get used to this because we are going to make the decisions. Because once you're blue,
once you go blue,
nothing else will do.
To go with it. Yeah, there you go. Once you go blue, nothing else will do. And we have a choice here. We can have a Andorian female, or we can have an Andorian male. Being a girl, I tend to play all girl toons except for those that I can't play as girl toons. But my son, who also plays this, has a strong belief in why he plays female toons. And that's because 90% of the time you're watching your character from the back, which means it's got to be something that you find pleasant to watch from the back. And he said he'd rather watch a girl running than to watch a guy running. Your choice entirely. And if you really want to have a guy and you're not comfortable with watching guys backside running in front of you, put a cape on him. I mean, we have capes, we have great costumes. You can have fun.
Now it takes a while to get some costumes for some people, but it's worth it.
It is worth it. So the next thing we're going to look at is your job. We've decided we've got a female Andorian. We haven't named her yet. We'll do that in a moment. But we've got to give her a job. We have 3 careers that are available: engineering, science, and tactical. Basically summarized, engineering is Scotty. It's Balana. It's Trip. It's
Jordy.
Jordy. Yeah, how could I forget Jordy?
I don't know how you can forget Jordy.
I can never forget Jordy. We also get our science. Science, again, you can think Spock to Paul.
Data to some degree.
Data to some degree, yeah. Data kind of covers all bases. We love Data.
Harry Kim to some degree also.
Yes. Harry Kim, by the way, is in game voiced by Garrett Wang. Garrett Wang? Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang. Nice guy.
Awesome guy.
Awesome guy, yes. Got to meet him at the most recent convention and he was adorable. Last but not least, definitely not least. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And apparently he's that way to everybody. So if you ever get a chance to go to a convention and meet Garrett Wang, you should. He is just
sweet. Sweet guy.
I mean, 4 days, and I don't think I heard him say one bad thing to anybody.
No, not at all. Even when he had to ask somebody to not take a picture, he was very gracious about it. Yep. Last but not least, we've got the tactical officers. Tactical officers deliver damage.
People who would be examples of tactical officers: Sulu, Worf to a degree. Yeah, Worf is probably your quintessential tactical officer. Captain, I recommend we destroy them.
Worf, but they haven't shot at us, Worf.
Worf, they're in an unarmed ship. We should not take any chances. We must destroy them.
So true. So we decided for this toon we are going to do
an Andorian tactical officer because we like Andorians and
we like hitting things.
Tactical is one of the easier jobs, to be honest.
So we've got a female Andorian Starfleet tactical officer. All right, we're going to stop right here for this one. And we're going to come back next time and we're going to show you what we can do to make our Andorian tactical officer appear the way we want her to appear. This will be costuming and her physical appearance. So thank you very much for joining the Darkmom Consortium today, and we'll see you next time.